For your consideration, in the year 1999, in the small town of Durnsville, Indiana, a young girl in the 8th grade by the name of Kimmy Schmidt was abducted from her front yard by the enigmatic Reverend Richard Wayne Gary Wayne. The next 15 years of her life proved to be a private hell, as she was forced to live in an underground bunker with 3 other women and Richard Wayne Gary Wayne himself. And honestly, I haven't laughed this much in a long time. It's Reviews versus the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
You were the first young woman forced into this cult.
Yes, I had waited on Reverend Richard a bunch of times at a York steakhouse I worked at, and one night he invited me out to his car to see some baby rabbits, and I didn't want to be rude, so here we are.
I'm always amazed at what women will do because they're afraid of being rude.
The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt is a new comedy by 30 Rock creators Tina Fey and Robert Carlock, created exclusively for Netflix after NBC passed on the series. This show follows the tale of Kimmy Schmidt, played by The Office's Ellie Kemper, a small-town Indiana girl who has spent half of her life forced into a cult by an insane preacher. When she's finally rescued, Kimmy decides that those years cannot define who she is, and leaves Indiana behind to start a new life away from the spotlight in New York City. This series follows her adventures as she experiences the world with fresh eyes. As expected from Fey and Carlock, her world is quickly filled with a cast of wacky characters.
You with a job, the place is yours.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, but don't wear that yellow sweater, because the Crips will think you're in the Banana Boys. It's a new gang. There weren't any good colors left. Nice to meet ya!
The writing in this show is top-notch. Kimmy's dialogue feels ripped right from the mouths of 8th grade girls in the late 90s.
Your hair smells good!
They checked it for lice at the hospital.
I kind of want to kiss you.
Yes. Do it. I'm fine. Oh! What the fudge?
Considering that one of the only 2 books that she had in the bunker was a Babysitter's Club book, you end up with a character that truly feels out of time with the rest of the world. Add to this the fact that she has not been around for 15 years, and you have some great opportunities for comedy.
We are going to pay the rent, I'm going to get my job back, and I'm going to kiss a boy. And you are going to sing at the Grammys with Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson.
Bad examples, but yes.
The fish out of water trope has been done to death in every form of entertainment, but Kimmy's infectious enthusiasm brings it to new heights. And that right there is what is at the core of this series, a message of hope and looking for the best in yourself. As Kimmy mentions, the worst thing that could happen already has happened. So why hold yourself back? Kimmy and her not quite 8th grade education teaches us more about life than most other sitcoms can do in their entire run, and that emotional element might just be the show's strongest point. Now that's not to say that the show's humor slacks at all. This show is frequently laugh-out-loud funny. Titus and Lillian especially shine as wacky counterparts to Kimmy's innocence, but as with 30 Rock, the city of New York can almost feel like a character unto itself. From Lillian's stoop to the Central Park horse that Kimmy lets go free because the horse too deserves to be free, can only happen in New York City. And then there is the music. Everything from the 30 Rock-esque transitions and background music to the theme song are a perfect complement to the visuals of the show. I dare you to not get this theme song stuck in your head. Dare you. It can't be done.
Unbreakable, they alive, damn it, it's a miracle. Unbreakable, they alive, damn it, but females are strong and
What in the ham sandwich? I just got a job.
Please tell me that you're normal.
Kimmy works for the Voorhees family, and all of them are pretty awful. And yes, I do mean that they are awful people, you know, rich 1%ers, blah blah blah, but it's more the lazy writing for this family that gets on my nerves. The mother, Jacqueline, is played by Jane Krakowski, and feels like a retread of her character Jenna from 30 Rock. But unlike Jenna, Jacqueline doesn't go for a completely off-the-deep-end sort of crazy, and that honestly feels a little bit missing here. Now, don't get me wrong, I was never a fan of Jenna on 30 Rock, but at least that performance commits, where Jacqueline just fizzles. Add that to her borderline offensive background story, and you have a character that we are supposed to relate with, but just can't. Ugh. Her children are no better. Buckley is given a spotlight in the first episode, and then disappears into the background completely, and Xanthippe is built up to be an antagonist, but never really goes anywhere. It's all pretty lazy, really.
How did you make this? It's my hair and Donna Maria's hair.
¿Qué? ¿Nunca te di ni un pelo?
All in all, this show is just another wonderful justification for your Netflix subscription, and makes the perfect binge-watch material. The fact that it is also clean for a Netflix original is also appreciated. And that's why I give Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt 9 Indiana Mole Women out of 10. Now, let's just admit it. You already have a Netflix account, you've already seen this show come up in your suggested in your Netflix, and you've already seen tons of people talking about this show on Facebook, just recommending it to you. If this video doesn't put you over the edge, I don't know what else will. Just go, please, and watch it. And by the way, catchphrases are for chumps. We're reviews.